folks, if you could please take your seats, we're about to enter the wormhole, so I hope everybody bought a dinner first.
Nice.
Hey guys, Chastity here. The Whirly Dirly Conspiracy episode of Rick and Morty had one of the craziest minute-long sections of animation in the show so far. Rick and Jerry went through a wormhole in space. There were lots of sci-fi, ancient religious, and spiritual references crammed into what felt like an intense 60-second acid trip. I'm gonna break it all down for you, but before I do, click subscribe so you can win one of these. It's Squanchy! You can have this exact one that I'm putting all my germs all over. And to do that, make sure you're a subscriber and click the link in the description below. The wormhole sequence in Season 3, Episode 5 of Rick and Morty reminds me a lot of 2001: A Space Odyssey. Do you remember this scene with all of the lights and flashing colors? It's kind of like that, but with a lot more symbolism. Before we get to the wormhole, Jerry bites Risotto Groupon's arm, causing him to shoot at the ship.
Temporal shield compromised.
The temporal shield was compromised, which apparently causes mind-bending and soul blending between beings that are in close proximity. Then we get a shot of the ship as it's about to enter the wormhole. The ship looks similar to the Flossed in Paradise cruise ship from The Fifth Element. The entrance to the wormhole is a Stargate, as seen in the Stargate film and TV shows. As they enter the wormhole, a bullet shot from Risotto's gun turns into a blob and passes by Jerry, and Jerry morphs into a blob of colors. So physical existence is no longer following the laws of nature. Then we see Jerry as a space fetus, a la 2001: A Space Odyssey. This leads to a full-grown Jerry looking at two figures, one in black and one in white, holding triangles with pyramid icons over their heads. This endless desert expanse and the lighting reminded me of the desert in American Gods, where Anubis takes the dead for judgment. Triangles have a significant spiritual importance. In Christianity, there are three sides of the triangle for the Holy Trinity, and ancient Egyptians had the primordial trinity of Isis, Osiris, and Horus. One of the figures has an upside-down pyramid over its head, while the other has a pyramid facing up. According to the Symbol Dictionary, the upward-moving triangle is sometimes called the blade. It is a symbol of aspiration of rising up, male force, and fire. The downward-pointing triangle is sometimes referred to as the chalice. It is the symbol of water, the grace of heaven, and the womb. It is one of the most ancient symbols of female divinity. Then a door appears and opens, kind of like the floating door in the desert in Beetlejuice. This leads to a dark, well-decorated sitting room. Bird Person and Beth are on the mantle. A case sits on the floor. Rick is wearing an Elizabethan-era dress with fleur-de-lis print and is breastfeeding a baby. The baby is Risotto. Now, I'm not sure if this scene is a direct reference to something, but if you recognize it, let me know in the comments. Then we see a shot of crows flying by. Crow symbolism opens us to ancient wisdom and sacred law. There are spiritual beliefs that when a crow appears, it beckons you to begin the use of the gift of clairvoyance, to see into spirit realms. So maybe these crows are beckoning Jerry to use his sight to look into the spirit realm. We see Jerry looking at the crows, then turning his head to see this crazy image. Perhaps it means Jerry has fully opened up to see the spirit realm. Rick is sitting on an altar with a pillar on each side. This seems like a reference to Freemason imagery. He's pointing up and down like Baphomet of occultism, although he is using the gesture for peace among worlds. Usually Baphomet is represented as a goat-headed human. Behind Rick is the Eye of Providence pyramid. Floating above him is a 3D representation of the Star of David. All surrounded by Alex Grey-like visuals of a multi-faced god, like this shot from Tool's video for Vicarious. So basically this shot is a bunch of symbolism smashed together and couldn't possibly mean anything. Then we see a pocket watch with a giant eye in his right hand. This reminds me of the Hamza hand, the ancient Middle Eastern palm-shaped amulet symbolizing the hand of God. Depicting the open right hand, in all faiths it's a protective sign. It's originally from North Africa and now commonly seen in jewelry and wall hangings. Jerry's eyes have been replaced with clocks, but time is moving backwards. Following this is a decomposing corpse, showing the passage of time moving forwards. Jerry takes a bite of grass and is now a gazelle. Rick is a lion and attacks him. The image switches back and forth to naked Rick and Jerry wrestling in the same formation as the animals, signifying the predator and prey dynamic between Rick and Jerry. Then Rick says this,
I have shit on my ass.
which reminds me of this line from Twin Peaks' Fire Walk With Me.
Oh, the shit that come out of my ass.
Next we see a giant triple spiral with Jerry, Rick, and Risotto at the center of it. This triple spiral looks like the Triskel or Triskelion, an ancient Celtic symbol composed of 3 interlocked spirals. The triple spiral is related to the sun, afterlife, and reincarnation. It is sometimes called the spiral of life.
I'm time! I'm literally time!
The 7 multicolored circles are the 7 chakras, rooted in Eastern spiritual traditions such as Hinduism and Buddhism. They consider the 7 primary chakras the basis of our human existence. Chakras are vital energy centers in the body. Then we zoom out to see him at the center of one giant chakra, a combination of all the chakras. Following this, Jerry, Rick, and Risotto fuse into one right before they come out of the wormhole.
I feel like our souls were united and we're all one with eternity.
Our bodies unchanged, yet our minds have lived 1,000 lifetimes.
Rick also follows up with a line explaining what happens.
Cosmic apotheosis wears off faster than salvia.
What is cosmic apotheosis? Apotheosis is defined as the highest point in the development of something, culmination or climax, or the elevation of someone to divine status or deification. So cosmic apotheosis is a cosmic level of elevation to the highest point or divine status. According to an article from Heavy, cosmic apotheosis is a real term that has been used outside of Rick and Morty in literature and philosophy to describe an act of achieving a higher sense of self and reality. Jerry, Rick, and Risotto's minds and souls were fused momentarily, but when they got out of the wormhole, the feeling from it wore off quickly. Well, that was a trip. Thanks Rick and Morty for taking me through an internet wormhole of Tool music videos and religious symbols. I learned a lot. And if you saw something that I didn't, please mention it in the comments below. And check out these videos. Come back to GameSpot Universe for all of our Rick and Morty videos, and I'll see you next time.